Hello, and welcome back to Midsummer Murders commentary tracks.
Oh, I was here for all creatures great and small. Oh boy.
It doesn't matter as long as it's not Doctor Who, because then the BBC will copyright the hell out of me. We're not having that battle again. It was a war.
I'm a veteran of that war. I'm the war MrTARDIS.
Yeah, who is that in the corner? Who's this?
Hello, it's me. Hi, I'm MrTARDIS.
It's Trilby, it's William Carlisle. I don't even know how long I've been watching your stuff. It's probably coming close to a decade. We've crossed over a number of times. This is the first time we've spoken in person.
Yeah, that's weird. I was thinking, have we actually spoken properly before? But I think this is the first.
And here we begin with possibly the most un-Doctor Who episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's a bit of an anomaly in the classic series.
It's very displaced. Not only is it the last pure historical we get, but there hasn't even been one since the Highlanders. But it's especially strange, this one, because it's not even staged around a historical event. It's just hanging out in the past.
Yeah, something that you don't really see that often when you get Nyssa saying, is it safe to come back to London? Because it's the visitation. They've just burnt down London. So can you imagine they open the doors and it's like Pyramid of Mars, where London is still burning centuries later because of what they've done.
Peter Davison has been quoted as saying that he thinks that Terence Dudley just found Black Orchid in the bottom of a drawer for a generic murder mystery and then decided to turn it into a Doctor Who episode.
That kind of makes sense.
It would make the train line make sense.
A steam engine. As a boy, I always wanted to drive one.
I haven't seen this since I was maybe a 12-year-old boy.
You've been quoted in your videos as saying that Peter Davison is your most favourite Doctor.
Oh, yeah. He inspires me so much.
Yeah, exactly.
That actually hurts to say. Your sarcasm hurts. He's a great boyhood Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a favourite.
So many of his stories are very easily accessible to newcomers of the classic series because you don't have that yucky black and white, you don't have those old people. You've got somebody with a spring in his step and also someone who maybe younger audiences can relate to.
The energy and the agility does wonders, and you don't mind so much about the JNT era bitchiness when you're a kid.
No, absolutely.
It's just how they are.
Yeah. So many stories in his era tick the boxes that new Doctor Who fans might want to explore. You know, Cybermen, Daleks, The Master, the Anniversary Special. There's so many landmarks in the Davison era.
And we ended up with this.
It's probably more accessible to watch Black Orchid than The Romans, even though I think The Romans is a better story.
Smutty? Smutty Thomas.
Uh-oh. They're talking about Smutty Thomas. I don't want to hear about him.
Yuck.
Oh, finally, we get a story where the Fifth Doctor isn't wearing fancy dress.
Yeah.
He's actually dressed for the occasion.
He's dressed for the occasion. To prepare for this, I watched the making of behind the scenes from the Blu-ray.
All right, big money.
Where, for some reason, Turlo is like just taking them to all the locations in the TARDIS and saying, "Remember that when this happened?" And Peter Davison just
because I sure don't.
Because Peter Davison was just so happy to be like, so much of this was in camera. I really did bowl someone out.
Yeah, no, he's playing actual cricket here, which is fun, I guess.
Yeah.
It brings me about as much joy as Matt Smith playing football, and then I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, well,
what do I do with this?
I think there is merit to this, though. It's not something that I'd put as, like, you know, this is one of the Doctor's defining moments.
I think I would, but not in a positive way.
I think this is a nice little palate cleanser.
To me, in my head, the Fifth Doctor these days is just a slightly catty himbo who loves to have fun, but not with his companions.
Yeah, and in the making of, they were very open of saying how much they enjoyed recording this story, even though they didn't think the script was that good and the weather was terrible.
So much of this episode is an actual game of cricket. I'm glad they're having fun. I'm glad some dudes in the 80s were having fun, but am I? This is the kind of TV I would like roll my eyes at and laugh at my nan for watching. But just because there's a blue box and some dude wearing pyjamas, it's okay.
They brought Michael Cochrane back for the making of, and they were like, "Oh, what did you think of the script?" And he was like, "Wasn't very good, but I wasn't going to turn down Doctor Who."
If I only got to be in one Doctor Who story and it was Black Orchid, I don't know, I'd be a little bit gutted.
Yeah, I get that sentiment.
Oh, hello.
This guy's clearly not to be trusted for reasons.
From where I'm sitting, you're the resident expert on Black Orchid. It's been a decade for me. You've seen it last week?
Yeah, quite recently.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, well, I hadn't watched this thing for a long time. I was just very worried that if neither of us knew what we were on about, this would just be 40 minutes of silence as we try and actually try to follow the murder mystery.
Will, shut up, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Well, the murder mystery that is kind of... It gets off on the wrong foot because it opens with the audience seeing the murder being committed by someone with breathing difficulties, and everybody is at the cricket field, so they already have a perfect alibi.
I think there's something to be said for just hanging around and enjoying the location.
Yeah.
It's basking in its own concept a bit, and I like it when Doctor Who does that.
This is a good double screen effect. I will give them this. And I'm looking up and down trying to find it, and this is pretty good.
Although when we do start to get body doubles involved, there is apparently no one on the planet Earth who is the same size as Sarah Saturn.
No, she is very unique. She is unique in the universe.
Uh-oh, Tegan's getting her drink on.
She is, yes. She gets a screwdriver cocktail.
She started early. She started early this time. I think this episode is the one instance where Tegan actually is having fun.
Yeah.
So when she comes round to her departure and she says, "It stopped being fun, Doctor," it kind of implies there was any opportunity for her to have fun on the TARDIS, and there just wasn't. There was this one garden party, and that's it.
Yeah, she yells at the Doctor in the warehouse full of bodies, saying, "It's not been fun since I danced the Charleston in the Black Orchid episode back in 1981."
That line wasn't even scripted. That's just Janet Fielding speaking her mind on set.
Yep. Oh, the next planet you go to is a planet of fire, and the weather's great. Oh, God's sake.
Or actually, to be fair, she jumped off at the right time when 6E was coming about. Can you imagine that TARDIS team? Oh, we don't have to imagine that. A Fix for Sontarans gave us that.
Yep, the infamously, definitely canon story.
Oh, you should have brought that today.
Yeah, she's having fun. I'm glad she's having fun.
I think it's debatable whether that was dancing or not.
Show us your moves, Davis.
I'm impartial to a whip, I'm impartial to a nay-nay. I've said on Twitter, let's see what my word on Black Orchid was. Black Orchid is the Doctor Who equivalent of a beach episode, in reference to anime, where it's such an episode that's devoted to being filler that all the characters just go to the beach and have fun. I would even say that this is not only obvious filler, as I don't use that as a derogatory term, by the way, not one bit.
Yeah.
It's also shipping fodder. Although maybe that's just me, because there's no hanky-panky going on in the TARDIS around this time, but
Absolutely not.
knowing that all these characters are confirmed or unconfirmed do have things for one another, this is what you would go to as shipping fodder. This would be that episode. I do like the Davison two punches, where we're just like, well, and we're out. Because some of my favourite stories do that, and they don't have to worry about pacing one bit. The rescue, beautiful, perfect. Get more of that, please. Oh, well, someone's got to be having fun here. Come on.
So that salmon platter is apparently inspired by a spread JNT would do at all of his parties every Sunday.
What?
This is in the making of stuff that we're talking about how Matthew Waterhouse kept on trying to eat all the food, but it was placed there by the art department and was left out for like 3 days. So Matthew Waterhouse could have got food poisoning.
He's a feral little animal.
He is.
Just
And it's
foraging.
and it's technically his last meal.
Oh my god.
Where's the lie, Davis? Where's the lie?
There's none. I think he's chewing on some scenery in the first episodes of the Earthshock, but that doesn't, that don't count. There's no sustenance there.
We just cut away to him eating rocks in the cave.
Oh, we're back on the planet Vortis, the web planet I see.
Yeah, the Zarbi have had a bit of a downgrade, but they're much more colourful.
Downgrade? I'd say costume-wise, it's about the same.
Why do I always let my curiosity get the better of me?
I'm just going to say this to the camera and then keep walking away.
Oh, go on, Adric. Go on, Adric, my son. What if Anne, the Nissa's clone, was such a good impression made onto the Doctor that he brought her along in the TARDIS as well?
Oh, and Nissa's just left behind in 1925 Earth.
Oh, that's also funny. I'm thinking like Nyssa has no say in it and is just quietly fuming as she slowly gets erased.
You got Back to the Future
Is
style.
no longer the Doctor's favourite. Come on, other Nyssa.
I relate to Adric so hard there. I can't dance food.
Oh my god, Adric, stop. Fun fact, Adric, even though he's not very prominent in this story, he's actually hanging out with Ace right now, off screen. Ace is in this story.
I'm sorry, what?
Not to do a little brocanon on you, but Time and Time Again is one of those comics with Ace and Benny, and they're tasked with finding the key to time. Except to do this, they have to go over a bunch of old stories. I think Benny is in Nightmare of Eden, for some reason, and Ace is hanging out in Black Orchid. Adric tries to flirt with her, and Ace says she will kick the shit out of him if she touches him.
And just to clarify, we mean Benny Summerfield. We don't mean Benny as in Orphan 55 Benny.
Oh, we have to clarify that every time now. The Fifth Doctor is just adamant to find some sort of mystery or hijinks. He's going to Scooby-Doo this episode if it kills him. He's just walking around like a little boy lost. He's like, aliens, aliens.
There's got to be aliens in here somewhere.
I'm looking for the aliens. Oh, come on. Just cancel the garden party. It's pouring down. Oh, it's so good to see her having fun, because Tegan is one of my very favourite characters when she isn't just got the few stock lines of moaning, because that's thanklessly what she was given a lot of the time. Uh-oh. I gotta say, I'm feeling like Peter Davison. I am searching for the plot.
Is this man bothering you? Is this man-child bothering you? So I'm thinking what would happen if the events of this story were changed and Davison finished this story wearing that dressing gown still, and he's just wearing it throughout Earthshock. The dressing gown era.
Oh god, don't. People would take to that.
Do your frame-by-frame recreations and alterations, everybody. You know what to do.
Aliens? Aliens?
Psst, psst, psst. Here, aliens. Psst, psst, psst.
Come on, I'd even take a croton right about now.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'd say this got suspect and creepy a couple minutes ago, Nissa.
You read the room, Nissa. Or is it Anne? I don't know. I've forgotten.
Oh god, we've already lost track, like a magician trick with cups.
Yeah, I blinked when he had his hands behind his back for a second, and now I've just lost the plot.
Nissa watches passively. Oh no, she's out. She's out. Am I right in saying that this is really strange behaviour for the Doctor? He's very out of character in this one.
Now I must give her mouth to mouth.
Oh, that's our cliffhanger? Jesus. Yeah, it feels like it didn't get started. But not a bad thing.
We got dancing. We got the Charleston.
Yes.
We got Adric eating chicken.
Mostly 15 minutes of Adric eating chicken, yeah. I bought a BritBox account for this. For this!
We're just going to cut away from the cliffhanger.
Sure thing. You don't even need a resolution.
Even the story got a bit bored with the A plot. Now it's time to move to the B plot and its random, strange depiction of other cultures and races.
The A plot's happening downstairs. We know it's not him.
Yeah. Because he wants to be an Agatha Christie whodunit, but it's not presenting the alibis, it's not presenting the characters. It's not quite suited to the formula of what it's trying to do. I mean, it's got the Agatha Christie casual racism down pat, but it doesn't have the actual structure and the plot progression.
It's Christie only an aesthetic, and that's what this episode's determined to have.
It's a 45-minute flex.
Would you say that Terror of the Vervoids is a better Agatha Christie mystery than this Agatha Christie mystery?
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but Terror of the Vervoids is a lot of things than many things. I think it's a good story.
My girlfriend, that's how I won her over into Classic Who. I don't know.
Terror of the Vervoids.
Yeah, really. She was like, this weird framing device and coats, I'm sold. My boy. Oh, sorry, I thought he was still in the costume. I thought he was like bringing in.
They massacred my costume.
Oh, Tegan, that's it. That's it, Tegan. Get him down.
Drinking her issues away.
I think I started the Great Fire of London. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to do with that information.
I know what's going to happen to Concord, and I don't have the heart to tell him.
Uh-oh. Disfigurement mean bad?
Yeah.
Disfigurement bad?
Yeah, that's the plot.
So now the Doctor's just looking for a bit of mischief.
Yeah.
What's his goal?
To to kill the Batman.
I wonder if this story scared me as a kid, because very weird stories used to freak me out when I was 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I think it depends on your upbringing, because I was always scared of the grown-ups at the drunk parties. I'd always stay upstairs in my room and avoid them. I know that the Fifth Doctor's quite a passive Doctor, but he makes basically no attempt to defend himself here from this framing of murder.
He dressed himself up in the killer's clothes, for God's sake.
And he's like, oh, well, there must be somebody else wearing this Harlequin costume. To which Anne says, no, there's only one Harlequin costume. And then he could just say, oh, someone wore my costume. And he doesn't.
Doctor.
I mean...
Doctor, you framed yourself this time.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was I like this?
I don't think the Fifth Doctor would survive prison, to be honest.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Matthew Waterhouse didn't want to be involved in the dancing sequence, which was, by the way, a full-on sequence planned in the script. It just said, characters dance here. So he invented the narrative that Adric just wants the food.
So he gets the...
You know, not much acting at all, really.
Yeah, I appreciate it, though. I think it would be out of character for Adric to be the dancer.
I'm a Time Lord.
A what?
I told you.
This is your alibi. This is what you're going
Yeah,
with.
I mean, it's the truth, but I wouldn't open with it.
Especially even when there's no alien or supernatural elements going on at all. To open with that is mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, you could just say, hey, I was somewhere else when it happened.
In a cupboard up there, you and the Indian. Indian? An Indian. With a lip. That's...
With a lip?
I think that you're right. I think that the Fifth Doctor is the most Tory. We talked over it when it was happening in episode 1, but there is a bit where he just walks into a room and goes, Portuguese, and then just walks off.
Yes. You said about the dressing gown, what if this became his normal attire?
I think it'll be more casual and less conspicuous.
Where's the Indian? There was an Indian!
With a lip.
Doctor. This is a weird story where, like, he hasn't even done anything wrong, but I don't want him to be innocent.
But the real villain of the story is this lady here, this Foppington broad.
Oh, we haven't even addressed the main cast of characters. That's so not on our radar.
Apart from Disabled Man Bad, there's really not much going on here. I'll give the production team this. You give them a historical story, they're going to dress it well. Like, this visually holds up.
I mean, if you're just genre hopping, I'm sure there were many costume dramas going on at the time. I always think that's something Doctor Who could stand to do more now. Just borrow the casualty set. Oh, hey, well, they're doing that one. But
I'm looking forward to that.
You know what I mean? Have we had the line about the Master yet?
Oh.
Where the Fifth Doctor hilariously thinks the Master is in the story.
Yes, yeah, that's when before they get the cocktails in part 1.
Oh, that was great. I love that. That's such a funny gag. It happens in the audios all the time.
And it's really cleverly played in the Season 19 collection trailer, where they actually play ominous music under it and kind of allude to Anthony Ainley being in this story, even though he's not.
Oh, I bet he is somewhere.
He is the police officer.
The disguise, Doctor, so good. I was right under your nose.
Why did you not tie up his hands? Like, the guy's...
What is the rising action? Where are we going in this story?
Well,
is it wrapping up?
Well, they've lost the police box. The police have taken it away, even though police public call boxes like that weren't even around for another few years after this story takes place.
Doctor, this is the worst garden party ever.
I just wanted to eat chicken.
Docky, my tummy bad. Come along, Adric. Can't take him anywhere. You cannot take Adric anywhere.
To be fair, his crashing into Earth to wipe out the dinosaurs was a mercy killing, because he would have died of dysentery.
The Doctor has a space freighter with his name on it, and this is the story we decided, all right, you're off.
This gives us the best reaction to the interior of the TARDIS of the whole series. Ooh. That's not even me trying to be funny.
I might just watch, because I don't remember it.
Strike me pink.
What is it, Cummings?
A call from Lord Cranley, sir.
This is the tonal whiplash of one genre realising, oh my god, we were doing sci-fi?
Black Orchid is now a 3-star story when it was a 2-star story.
I gotta say, I bought this on DVD back in the day, back when those DVDs were expensive. There was no deduction in price.
Yeah.
I just got half a story. Okay, I realise now we're coming to the end of Black Orchid as an episode. We have less than 5 minutes left.
Take that, door.
Get it! This is the most conflict I've seen so far. Because I've edited it, obviously, and I've abridged it, people at home might think that we're just playing up for comedic effect. No plot has really got started at all.
Yeah, it doesn't annoy me or make... it's too short and too light entertainment for me to get wound up about it.
Yeah.
If you're a classic completionist, you can watch through it quite easily. There's worse, but it does nothing for me.
Oh, and we're about to have a bit of stunt work. Please listen out, and you'll be able to hear the poor stuntman cry out in pain because
he misses the cardboard boxes.
No, lad. Two are enough.
What? What does that mean? Just a weird beat.
No, don't get involved in the plot, kid.
Stay back here. Here, I have more chicken for you, child.
I'm going to arrest you for stealing the platter.
Wouldn't that be more interesting as a plot? Just like Adric or someone did a massive cultural taboo because they're aliens, and then rather than a murder mystery, it causes paranoia from around the time. It plants them in trouble, but very small scale. I just think that would suit a story like this. Because it's not really going for a murder mystery hard enough to earn it.
Well, yeah, the story kind of really cops out with its ending, because the woman with the plume or whatever, she never really suffers the consequences of trying to frame the Doctor for murder. This guy falls off the roof and dies, so he never really has any sort of atonement or consequence or anything or closure.
Consequence? Did he have a motivation? I'm oversimplifying it, I know.
So he has gone mad because he had his tongue removed and he was disfigured during his travels in areas that are not England.
I was hoping for a bit more than that, but yeah. We lost a good stuntman that day.
I'm not dead. I'm getting better.
No, he's gone. Thank God he died for a good cause. Black Orchid.
'Twas beauty killed the beast.
Oh, he's got his own copy of Black Orchid. Great.
Yep.
It was all linked the whole time. Fun fact, the Sixth Doctor will go on to slag the hell out of this book. He hates it.
He starts up a Goodreads account and leaves it multiple 1-star reviews.
Well, there was Black Orchid. It's great that everyone signed off happy friends after the end of this horrifying incident and accusing them of murder.
Yeah. Here's a book, Doctor. You tried to accuse me of murder. You would have had me killed and arrested.
Goodbye, friends. Thank you for the chicken. Thank you for joining me for this non-adventure, a real small note in the Doctor Who series.
It's an interesting landmark in the show, and that's the only reason it's really noteworthy.
There's always people saying, why don't we talk about this story more? And it's like, yeah, Black Orchid, what would you say? Go on. What would you grab onto?
Nah, that's everything. Just don't trust people with lips or hunchbacks, kids.
Fun fact, before we sign off, this was the highest rated story of the Davison era.
Yo, Josh, are you pulling my chain?
I'm out. We're done.
And on that bombshell...
Join me next time for Meglos, Unicorn and the Wasp.
All of the greats. I'm going to practice my Charleston.